Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Build Your Copywriting Business podcast. Hello, friends.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello. As always, I am joined by the wonderful and delightful and can't get enough of her Kate Sitars.
I thought you were going to say cantankerous for a minute, but
hello. Thank you. Sometimes, if she's hungry, it's been known to happen. Yes. And Kate and I have the pleasure of being joined by copywriter, CCA student, and all-around fantastic person, Catherine Rollerson. Hello, Catherine.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's dig right into your story. What is your background? How did you get into copywriting? What is your superhero origin story?
Superhero origin. I don't know about that. Well, for me, I actually did a degree in business strategy and marketing. Quite a big corporate career in that for many, many years before deciding that my husband and I wanted to raise a family rurally in the country. So we planned an exit out of the big city of Auckland in New Zealand and moved down to the Bay of Plenty. And I fulfilled my dream of becoming a stay-at-home mum, where we had 3 children and I took about 8 years off work. And we bought a kiwi fruit orchard of all things. And
Cool.
So we have a commercial orchard that we run. Yeah, so it's a great lifestyle down here. And then from there, when my youngest child was 1, I actually found out that I had breast cancer, which was a huge shock. And obviously it's one of those moments in life, everyone says that when you get hit with something like that, it really changes your life. And the cliche is true, it really does. And I'm healthy and well now, so that was all fine. But
Very glad to hear it.
Yeah, thank you. Going through that process made me think about what I really wanted from life. And as much as I loved my children and loved being a full-time mum, there was so much more that I wanted to do with my life and contribute to the world. And so I started Googling how to make some money from home. Obviously, living rurally, we're a good 30 to 40 minutes away from the nearest city. So going back to a corporate style job around school hours, because there's no after school care out here, it's ridiculous. So I had to find something to do from home around my children. And copywriting kept popping up as an option. So I was like, oh, okay. I knew what copywriting was. Obviously, as a marketer, I'd worked with agencies and copywriters before, but I'd never specifically been trained as a marketer in copywriting. So I investigated and thought, I wonder if there's a podcast I can listen to while I'm going about my daily life, and came across your podcast and consumed every single episode going back, I think, about 2 years, and thought, wow, these guys know what they're talking about. And what I really loved was the advice on how to run your business, not just get trained and do my course and become a copywriter. It was you held our hands right through the process in terms of how to set up your business and how to find clients and then how to nurture those clients and how to invoice those clients. And, it was the whole shebang. And that really impressed me. So I thought, I'll give this a go. And I joined and I've never looked back.
That's fantastic. Good for you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all that. And to echo what Nikki said, I'm just glad you're healthy now.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yes,
I am.
So as you dug into the program, you did have, as you said, you knew of copywriting, you worked with copywriters. As you dug into the program, was there anything that kind of surprised you about this area of marketing
of it,
exactly. Or anything that was kind of a new to you, or maybe just a different way of looking at things?
I think I always have a tendency to overcomplicate things in my head. And what I found with your course and becoming a copywriter was it's actually so logical and straightforward, and you don't need to overcomplicate how to market a business. It's getting to the heart of what they do, who they're speaking to, what they're trying, what the benefit is that they're offering their clients. And it's just talking to that in words. So the fact that it was so simple and so logical, I think, was quite refreshing. Yeah.
That's good. And then as you dug in and as you're saying, being in a rural area, you were
Mhm.
probably not applying for full-time jobs, probably looking mostly for freelance clients. How did
Yes.
although nowadays certainly you can work remotely
Yeah.
more than ever before,
Sure.
but how did your business develop? What were some of your first steps and your first wins there?
For me, networking has always been huge. I did a lot of that, obviously, in my corporate career. And as much as I personally don't like networking because I'm a bit of an introvert, when I'm talking about business, I can sort of put on this facade and this confidence just comes and I can speak to people easily. And so I joined, there was a local networking women's group that I had been following on social media. And so I decided to go to one of their events and decided to join. So that's a paid for networking subscription. And I meet with these women every week in our local town. And that has been a game changer for my business in terms of just really understanding the problems these women have in their small businesses. And it was, I think, listening to their stories and being able to offer advice around the table that made me really understand, actually, this is, for me, this is bigger than copywriting. This delves into their business strategy and the foundation of what they're trying to offer their clients. And this is, this is not going outside the scope of what you teach in the CCA at all. I mean, this is exactly the heart of it. And so with copywriting came later as a byproduct of talking to these business owners saying, what is your strategy? Let's set the foundation for your business. Really spelling out who their ideal clients were and how to benefit them and what your offering is, your unique service proposition. And it went from there, and it's sort of seeing the penny drop in the minds of all of these women. They were just like, that's amazing. Like, we've never really thought of our business like that. And I was like, wow, I might actually have something here that I could offer. So my business has sort of pivoted now to be more about the strategy and the brand positioning, which is a precursor to the copywriting. And then, out of those strategic plans that I'm writing for businesses comes copywriting work like email welcome series or website copy, that sort of thing. So yeah, networking is definitely key for me. And then I even put a post out on our local Facebook community page for our little rural community, just saying, are there any women at home that would like to meet once a month for a coffee and talk about their business? And I think within a few days, I had 50 women sign up and reach out to me saying that they all work from home. And you'd never know living out in the country. There's all these amazing business owners running successful businesses from their home, stuck inside their four walls that are just desperate to connect with people. So we've been running that for about 18 months now. And it's wonderful. I've made so many great friends out of it that are local to me. So yeah, it's really good.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
We think networking and we think what we all imagine is going into a room with a hi, my name is, and everybody's in their business suits and they're all standing around tables with like
Terrible snacks.
with terrible snacks and hi, I'm so and so. And that's yes, that can be, but that's not how it should be, right? The more effective networking is, like you were saying, is just having conversations, and it can be and those conversations, it's not even like we have to necessarily come prepared with all kinds of questions. Ask the kinds of things that we would normally ask just when we're meeting people. And then as we learn about their businesses, ask the kind of questions that frankly are in the creative brief, like, oh, well, who do you sell that? Who's your target audience? And it was so interesting. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I think, if anything, through this whole process for the last 2 years since I've become a copywriter, I've become an expert in questioning. All of my meetings, my discovery meetings with new clients and my kickoff meetings, it's like an interview. Casually, the clients don't feel like they're on the spot, but they don't prepare. It's better if they don't pre-prepare before I meet with them, because then you get the off-the-cuff response, which is often where the gold is. And just listening to what they have to say and making sure I just ask all sorts of questions coming in left field, random questions, and the responses that you get are just amazing sometimes.
I love that. I was just talking for a client project actually with a woman who's in college still. She's 20 something, maybe or young, but she was like, the thing I've been most intrigued about with leadership, she's like, leadership is listening. And hearing you talk, I feel like that's exactly what we come in, especially coming up with strategy and building the foundation for these businesses. They are the visionaries for their business, certainly, but you were coming in leading them to where they need to go.
Just channeling them, really, because they know the answers themselves. It's just extracting it out of them. And then, you get the feedback like, oh my goodness, it's like you're inside my head. And it's like, well, because it's your words and it's your passion for your business. I'm just reciting it back to you. So, yeah.
Well, and I think so many people think, oh, well, networking, I'm so nervous about what people are going to think. I'm nervous about I have to prove that I'm an expert. And the funny thing, and which you have clearly demonstrated so well, the funny thing is the best way to prove that you're an expert is to ask insightful questions and let them do the talking. And when we say insightful questions, it's not like you have to on the spot come up with like, oh, have you thought about this? It's really just the standard questions that we ask as we're getting to the crux of a copywriting project, and that establishes your expertise.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
So what kinds of clients, if you are comfortable sharing with us, what kinds of clients have you worked with so far? Have you been building up your business? Hey there, it's Nikki. I wanted to take a very quick minute to make sure that you knew about our free on-demand copywriting training. Now, whether you are brand new to copywriting or you've been doing it for a while, but you just can't seem to hit those income goals, this training is for you. You are going to learn the 3 secrets to landing freelance copywriting work without relying on frustrating job bidding sites like Upwork or Fiverr, or without cold calling strangers. And if you've watched any of the student success stories on this channel, and if you haven't yet, check them out. This is the exact same training that they all started with. And I mean students like Kate K, who is making 6 figures working part-time and retired her husband to help her build her business. Students like Stuart, who replaced his full-time salary, which was a good one, with his freelance income and then some. Stacy, who hit 6 figures in her first 6 months as a freelance copywriter, and Ashley, who landed the in-house copywriting job of her dreams. They all started with this free training, and you can start with this free training too. So sign up right now at freecopywritingtraining.com.
I've had a real mixed bag of clients, and that's what I just love, because you just learn so much. You've always said this in your podcast, that you just learn so much about the most random products in businesses. I've had a client that runs a wet pollination business for kiwi fruit orchards, and they've come up with all the technology and things that distribute pollen to the flowers. And it's like, wow, like the science behind it just blew my mind, and having to translate that into, I wrote their website copy. I've had a marriage celebrant, I've had restaurants, done billboards for a restaurant, so many of lots of beauticians, and a lot of women that are running clinics from their homes, helping them with websites and newsletters, emails and things. A clothing boutique store, which is amazing. Yeah, just lots of different ones. A graphic designer and a web developer who are actually, I'm helping them reposition and rebrand their business at the moment. And in return, they are redesigning my business and helping me redevelop my website. And so that's very exciting to be able to do these swapsies. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then
so cool.
I would expect too, as their business grows and they need a copywriter.
Yes, absolutely.
They know a great one.
We do a lot of referrals, the 3 of us, which is nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So a real mixed bag of people and ongoing. And a lot that I have connection, somehow randomly, the universe delivers people that I have connections with from my previous career. And so what I mean by that is, like, I'm working with a medical team at the moment, setting up a new medical business. And my background was in pharmaceuticals, my corporate career. So we have a lot of crossover in terms of, I understand what they're trying to do. And it's just, and then another lady that I work with, she's an interior designer and a personal color consultant. And that's my passion. I've always got, HGTV going in the background, watching all these home designs and renovations. And then to be working with someone who is an interior designer, it's like, wow, I get this. I know what you're talking about. And, it's really quite neat. Yeah.
Oh, that's so much fun. The variety and the things that you can learn, and that you get to experience what it's like to, not exactly, but to be in a business of all kinds of different kinds of business without actually having to run the business yourself. You get to dabble a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when you need those services in your life, you know exactly who to go to.
Yeah, right.
It's true.
That's so good.
I was going to say, did you use the service for your own kiwi farm then, or?
100%.
Nice.
They came and pollinated, and our crop was amazing this year after they pollinated our orchard for us. Yeah.
Love it.
I love that example because it just shows like things that I would never even, how would I even know that, there's just so much opportunity.
I know. There is. Yeah. Businesses are everywhere.
You have a busy life. You are the mom of 3 children. You have a bustling Kiwi farm, and you are a copywriter, clearly serving a lot of clients. How have you balanced those things? Has that been a challenge for you? Have you kind of developed any tricks or systems?
Give us
for
the
yourself?
wisdom. Yeah.
Yes, the wisdom. Oh my goodness. Well, starting out, when you're launching a new business, I think you have to be prepared to just put your head down and really work hard. And for the first years from launching my business, launching my website, it was a lot of work and a lot of hours. Like, I'm not going to lie about that. I was working weekends, and it felt like for a long time it was, where is this going? The clients weren't coming in, but I was building a presence on social media. I was busy networking. I was active. I was doing a lot. And then all of a sudden it kicked in, and I was about 3 or 4 months ago. Like, I was getting dribs and drabs of clients, which was amazing. And then about 3 months ago, all of a sudden the floodgates opened, and I have more work than I can deal with. But the hours have reduced because now I'm in a rhythm of servicing clients, and I manage that during the school hours when my kids are at school and kindergarten, and it works so well. I think I'm doing about 25, maybe 30 hours at a push a week, and I think I've had 2 months in a row now where I've made more money than I did in my full-time corporate job, which is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. And what I love is it just does not feel like work. I am so excited to do what I do, and it's on my terms. And if I want to take a break, I take a break. And if I need to go shopping, I go shopping or get my nails done. I can do whatever I like when I like. And as long as I'm always delivering for my clients, which I do, it's on my terms, which is just so amazing for me. Yeah.
Great.
Oh,
I love to hear
that.
that.
Yeah.
Now, as you were digging and you're building up your business, obviously you got into networking. I need to find a better word. Having conversations, meeting people, and I love
building relationships. Really, I mean, as you were talking about,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is cool. You're meeting other people that do not what you do, but what you do in the sense of you're a business owner, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's key, to call it relationships, because I know everyone talks in the post-pandemic world that people are desperate for that human connection. I think, that is so true. And I think there are so many people that work from home now that are so isolated, especially in my rural community, that those relationships and connections are just so important. And I don't know if it's necessarily a New Zealand thing. I doubt that it is, but people do business with people that they trust. And relationships come first, and then the business flows from that. And, as I said, it took me a good year to build up those relationships and just be continually offering value to people with no expectation in return, and helping and doing what I love is just helping people and seeing that little spark come back in their eyes and their passion for their business. And when you do that enough, people suddenly go, yeah, actually, I trust you with my money to come in and do something for my business. So not networking, it's relationships. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Well, I think there's something about networking that just feels disingenuous, whereas you're clear, like you care, and we care about what we do, that there's something, I don't know, more it's real.
Yeah, it's very real. Yes.
And I love that you took the step and decided to kind of create your own networking group. Do you remember what you put in that post? And I know, anybody would meet up for coffee. And then how have you is there a structure to the group, or is it kind of more?
Well, it's just a Facebook Messenger chat group. I put the post up on the community page and just said, hey, anyone working from home that wants to start networking, use that word networking, and, would like to meet for a coffee. And I just said, DM me if you want to be a part of this. And then, as I said, I had about 50 women reach out to me. And so we started this chat group, and that's all it is just a chat group. And then once a month, we just have a date, the first Tuesday or whatever it is of every month. We meet at this time at this cafe. And then I just message them once a month, a few days beforehand, saying, hey, who's coming? And it's been great. We always get, a good anywhere between sort of half a dozen to a dozen at a time. So we have never had all 50 turn up at once. Everyone's busy with children and life. But it's always a great group and great conversations. And just being able to help each other in our community is wonderful.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's so easy to think, well, is there a group that and certainly everyone join groups. Absolutely.
Yes.
But I love that you also said, okay, in addition to that, I'm also going to just take the step and start something myself. And I love too that it doesn't have to be this thing. This is the name of the group and it happens at this time, and that it can just be, which I think probably feels more welcoming as well.
I think so. It's just that it's so casual. There's no pressure. There's no subscription fee every week. There's just, turn up if you feel like it, and let's talk business.
Yeah, exactly. And I would imagine that too, that because you guys are all in the chat, that I personally, one of my things is I hate showing up at places where I don't know anybody. It is my personal, I have to kind of psych myself. I'll do it, but I don't like to do it. But I would imagine that if you guys are already in the chat together, everyone gets a sense that it's a friendly group. So even if they haven't met in person, it's that much easier to get people to attend when they can.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Oh, love it.
Yeah. I'm curious where you are now. So it's 2 years since you've launched your business, right? So
yes,
if you could go back to Catherine of 2 years ago, or even 6 months before that, what advice would you give to her?
You can do this. There's a proven method to follow. Follow the steps. Don't give up. I think it can feel really hard, and you think, why am I doing this? And there's no clients out there, and I've done all this training, but just believe in yourself and keep going. Just follow the steps. You've got a proven method that has worked for so many people. It will work for you if you just keep going.
Yeah. And I love you said the keep going piece, because you mentioned earlier about, planting the seeds essentially. And then all of a sudden, more work than I know what to do with. And I think that's it's hard to explain to people until they experience it. But I feel like there's that moment of like, I'm doing so much work pushing this boulder up the hill, and is it ever going to tumble? And then when it does, you're on that roller coaster ride.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great ride to be on. It's a great ride. Yeah. I get so excited about how much potential there is out there. And there are so many businesses. I mean, I know you reference it quite frequently about how many new businesses start every year. And it's so true. And I think I'm passionate about helping the small to medium-sized businesses because they're passionate about their product or their service. And so they want to take it to the masses, and they take it as far as they know how to do with no business training. And then it's at that point that they're like sort of hit in the face, like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? How, there's so much, I wear so many hats. I don't know what I'm doing. And it's at that point that I feel like I can step in and go, well, hey, this is, let me help. This is pare it back a bit and let's work out what your strategy is. Let's position your brand properly, and let's, step by step, implement some actions that are going to get the result that you need. And I just get so excited because you see such a change, and it's the change in the individual people that I love. Yes, the business success that comes is amazing, but it's the reigniting the passion in the individual for their business. They go from being overwhelmed and drained and wanting to quit to just being, I can see the light. This is amazing. This is why I'm in business, which is wonderful.
Oh, I agree. And don't get me wrong, big clients are great too. We love big clients,
Sure.
But it is so much fun and so fulfilling to work with small business clients because to your point, you're helping them with their business, but you're also helping them as people. And when you're helping them as people, you're also then helping their family. And if there's anybody working for that company, then you're also helping for that business. Then you're also helping the employees of that business, and you're helping the families of the employees of that business, and anybody who needs or wants the offering that this small business has, you're helping all the people who are getting the products and services being like, yes, this is it. This is what I needed. It's so fulfilling to actually see the outcome and how you positively affect the people around you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes back to that trust as well, because small businesses, they don't necessarily have the budgets that the big corporations do just to throw at a strategy or copywriting projects. So a small business owner really has to feel that trust and connection with you that, okay, yes, I'm giving you my money. This is all I've got to put towards marketing. Please, I'm trusting you. And it's a big, it's a great honor, to take that from a small business. And I feel really dedicated to my clients to really, I give it my all to make it work for them. And I feel like I probably go over and above in most instances because I really want it to work, which is lovely, for them.
Yeah. Well, and the impact too. It's easier to see the impact with a small business. With a large corporation, certainly what we do is still very valuable, obviously. But when you take someone who has no background in marketing and no background in copywriting, and they've created a website or even just an email that they're sending out, and you say, okay, this what you have here is good-ish. But let's just redo this. And then it can have, so taking something from to, oh, good, can have such a immediate massive impact on their business.
Yeah.
Demonstrable impact. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now if anybody is listening and maybe they're in the business building element, they've gone through the training and now they're digging in and they're starting to reach out to clients and they're maybe in that place of, like you were saying, are there actually clients out there?
Yeah.
Is this going to work for me? And you said earlier, keep going. Absolutely. Is there anything else that you would have wanted to hear, or that now that you're out of that phase that you want to share with someone who's maybe in that still?
I think you need to do what feels comfortable for you as a person. I mean, pitching clients, your system works 100%. I was getting responses from pitching clients. I'm just going to get out my front door and go and meet people. And I think that came naturally to me. So I feel like that's why it works better for me than it might for somebody else, because I'm doing what feels right. And I think people really need to listen to their gut instinct and go where they feel comfortable. That's not to say you think, oh, well, today my gut instinct's telling me to sit on the couch and watch Netflix all day. You have to work, and you have to work hard, and just make sure that every step that you're taking is a step towards the right direction to get your business out there. Yeah, but there are lots of options. I mean, you've got so many different trainings in there about how to promote yourself, whether it's doing a PR story with your local newspaper, or there's so many things. It's just follow the steps, use the resources, and use the Facebook group for support, because it really is wonderful. But that's one of the great things of this course.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. So now, if someone is listening and maybe they're not a student, maybe they're a client, maybe they're listening, they're looking for a copywriter, and they say, "Catherine sounds fantastic. How can I work with her?" Where can people find you?
Well, through my website. So that's copybycatherine.com. That's Catherine with a C.
Love it. We'll link to that below
Yep.
the video or wherever you're consuming this. It will be below and in the show notes.
Yeah.
Yes, there will be a link.
Excellent. Well, Catherine, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing your story, and thank you on behalf of all of the small businesses that you've been working with, and you have changed their businesses for the better. You're making the world a better place by doing what you do so well. It's true. So thank
you so much. It's been a real honor to be here today speaking with you both. So thank you for having me.
Well, thank you. The
full circle moment from listening to
yes, it's quite surreal.
Yeah. So and the honor is ours. Absolutely. So with that, everyone, we will catch you in the next episode.
Like what you heard? Hit subscribe so you never miss a video. And if you're ready to take the first step toward becoming a copywriter yourself, sign up for a free video training right here.